So we are live with our certified PMP. Now, let me first put her back into the screen. Ishwari was the last student who joined us in batch 12. Interestingly, she joined us on the batch day, and she is my top student. Why do I say top student? We do have 192 certified PMP, but there is something about her that I haven't seen in my students or in any other students, and that's her score record. So, Ishwari, before starting anything, I just want to show the audience the context. Guys, can you see the green line? Like it's nearly the end. I guess she only get 10 or 5 question wrongs in the real exam. So if she had gotten that, she may have received 100% marks in the real exam. So, Ishwari, first of all, congratulations on clearing the PMP exam from the bottom of my heart. And I really love the way you did, the speed you did in. It was just mind blowing. So she's a PMP number 192. I'll give her the mic. Ishwari, why do you wanted to do PMP? When you plan to do it? How we helped? Share your journey in your own words. You have the mic, my friend.
Yeah, so basically, PMP was on my mind since last like 2 3 years, and I had been trying to do it. Okay, so I had tried self studies, I had tried some other courses also, maybe a year back, but that didn't work out. So I thought, something has to be done, and it was on my mind. So it was a grit. I am not a very bright student, but I had this grit that yes, I need to do it. And on the last day, I had one of my colleague and my boss earlier, Atul Sharma, he had recommended your name, and it's like 3 4 months had passed, and I told him, okay, I'll do it, I'll do it, but I didn't do it. So it was the last day. I still remember that your batch was supposed to start, and I said, okay, let me do it now. I want to clear it anyways. So that was the starting point of the journey, and the lectures were really good. Means I have taken two classes earlier, but the way the flow was explained, probably that helped a lot to clear a lot of doubts and concepts of PMP. And yes, the mocks followed up, so it went all very well. Thank you so much, sir.
Just like your PMP journey, you explained things like this. And okay, let me get into depth of that. So yeah, I remember Atul Sharma. Like he did mention me long time ago. One of my colleague will contact you. So I stopped. Like when someone said, I said okay, share the contact. I never knew, and I don't know. You told me before this or not that Atul remember. So thank you for Atul that we get a highest score, and Atul did a very excellent score there. So you did the 6 days. So what do you think about those structure of PMP? Then we'll come to the real exam.
The
How
sir.
the structure of program day one, day two, day three, and activities day four, day five, day six. So what do you think about that?
So basically, I have wanted to know that how the structure flows. So I went with the flow. Means whatever you had taught, first three chapters in the first session, and then it continued, and it went at very good pace. Okay, and then there were collective sessions which we did, which were actually helpful, very helpful. So it was a different pattern of teaching, and probably that caught, means I got to know the how the flow works. The major concepts which I had read the books, but couldn't understand were clear in those sessions. I think the pace was also good. The collective actions, collective activity which we did were also really helpful.
Those mind
And then
map activities. Those
yeah, yeah,
mind
my
map activities.
activity. Yes, yes.
They
So
were good.
those were really helpful. And yes, means I think mocks also helped a lot. The 6 mocks continuously, and then doing a root cause of analysis. I mean, it was too good. The journey was too good.
Yeah. So Vinod is asking, congratulations. So is there any question about MBTI, Myers Bridge, MBTI? Any question on MBTI or no in the real
No,
exam?
actually, yeah, that test was shared, and it was a first experience. Like we had never done such test before. So
No,
yeah,
no,
that
we did MBTI. Let me put the Vinod question again. We did MBTI. I gave you the
yeah, right.
survey. Everyone did that. You were prepared. But the question is, were there any question of MBTI in the exam?
Uh, I don't really remember, but there were questions, a lot of questions on the people and communications and people
Okay,
management.
this means you don't remember. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's asking about which mocks you did. So can you share which mocks you did?
Yeah, I did Amritsar's mocks only. There was six exhaustive mocks, and they are really good. The best part was the root cause analysis. So every time when you give an answer and you feel no, this is the right answer, okay, but when you get it wrong and then you do root cause analysis, that actually clicks you. Yeah, no, this is basically a right answer, and that helps. That builds in you, and when you're actually doing the real exam, it helps. Means it comes to you. So mocks were really really helpful.
Mocks were really, really good. So you did all six mocks.
All of them. All of them.
Okay. You did all six mocks plus you did those 50-50 questions that
Yes,
you did.
yes.
So, now this is very important. Okay, mocks are there and people can use the mocks for themselves. But my point is more towards the power of those 50-50 questions, how much they help.
No, so basically there was a structure. So after every lesson which you learned, you shared those 50 questions, and it helped actually clear the flow in detail. So it prepares you for the actual mocks. So it is like gaining knowledge of that chapter in detail, and then you move to the larger mocks. So actually those helped. So it helps to clear the concept, and then you get on the line to answer the actual mock. So it was really good.
Usually, do you think I should decrease the number of question, or like I am having two thoughts right now, either to make it 20, 25, or to make it 60. Why? I'll give the context. 20 questions so that people can do it earlier. 60 questions because it will have same as the exam of it. Or I should put it that remain the same and don't change it. What are your input about that?
Sir, I believe 60 helps, and if you share 60, it is up to the user. There could be user who would or a student who would do it 20, 20, 20. But if you just share 20, probably that will not add much value. I think 60 is good. So let people go with their pace, but 60 questions per chapter is good.
So you believe I should increase the question from 50 to 60, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, okay. Because I was thinking like, okay, I should decrease because 50, I used to give 50 before, but now since there will be 60, 60, 60 question in the exam, so 60 started making more sense. But
right.
I need more opinion from you, and I will also ask for, I'm a servant leader. I always ask. I never take an action myself. I ask from my team, and whatever the team, like you guys are my team basically.
True,
I'm
true.
not the team who's working. You guys, if you give me like this can be opinion, so I work according to that. Okay. So Ishwari, talking about the exam. So you gave exam in home. Very important thing. She wanted to give exam on Sunday because of multiple reasons of her personal. So she chose home at what time? 8 a.m.
8 a.m., sir. Yes.
Okay, now going to that, we had a conversation the night before that you were thinking to use office laptop, then going back to personal laptop and desktop. So which thing you used finally?
So I used my personal laptop and it worked. Basically, there is a
Small screen.
process.
Small
Yeah,
screen.
small screen, yes.
Okay. So please explain the process.
So process was you basically check in half an hour before, and then you have
Mhm.
a process of system testing, and then you have to authenticate yourself. You have to give your government ID and click a photograph, and then there are few more photographs which are clicked of the house and the setup which you are in, and then they check the network connectivity also, and then the class starts. Okay, the test basically starts. So, but I would recommend people going to the center. Reason being, there were some connectivity issues at home. So after giving 130 question, it actually went out blank, and then it started saying there is no connectivity, and I thought, oh God, do I need to repeat the test or will it get cancelled? Fortunately, it continued, but I will suggest that people go to the center and give their test.
Okay. Now, why you say that like they should go to the center?
Because the connectivity issue, and if there is some problem, probably there will be somebody to guide you. But at my home I was alone, so I didn't know what to do when the system went off. So I was just praying that it goes well. I think at center you will be taken care.
Okay, so you recommend center. So tell me about the time management. We did have like this was amazing. Actually, we had planned for our overall coaching call on Sunday. That was more feasible. That was actually my suggestion to have on Friday. Then the team decided no. on Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Now,
Yeah.
Ishwari had an exam and she wanted to sleep, which is a right thing to do. So she said, asked me, "Sir, can you move it to 8 or 8:30?" I said, "No, I cannot do. Team can do." So she said, "What I should do now?" I said, "Put the message in the group. If the team agreed, if you can get 11 votes, like we got 20 people, so we had a batch of 20 students. So if you get 11 vote, we'll put it there." So Ishwari put it there, and like I was not expecting, but everyone spotted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everyone spotted, and we had on 8:30, and after that we had a conversation, and so in the conversation we discussed about the time management. So Ishwari, what about, can you mention about things about time management? That is, guys, everyone who is watching, time management is the real PMP exam. So how did you manage time, Ishwari?
Sir, to start with, the first challenge is, if it starts with zero and then it tells you that you are at 80 minutes, it really hits. But the actually time goes backwards. So it starts with 230 minutes and then it starts going backwards. So calculating time is really, really a challenge when you're giving exam. And mocks definitely prepare you. So, but the trend is that I could complete, sir, around 60 questions in 40 minutes. But in actual exam, I actually took 80 minutes, and I never thought I'll take 80 minutes, and I actually panicked for some time because 80 minutes had already gone. But then I think, then you catch up, so that fear is in that first 80 minutes, so you go slow, no worries. uh, Take your time in other sections, probably you'll catch up, but mind your time. So it is like 80, 80, 70, you give it and abide to it.
Okay, okay. So 80, 80, 70 works for us. Like we should
Yes.
continue because as everything, I'm an agile. First, I used to say 70, 70, 70 plus 20 as a reserve. Then one of my student told, "Sir, 80, 80, 70 works better." So I asked other, they said yes, and it is working fine. So whatever other, I have nothing of my own. I take things, make them better. I'm like a Google. So, Modi is asking, how much time does it take for complete check-in process for home base? Ishwari, I would highly request you, please give an elaborate answer. I know you like to give answer to the point, but
Yeah.
if you can give elaborated answer so that we can, like people giving the exam from home, they can understand how to tackle this. This is a very important thing.
So basically, it takes around 20-25 minutes, and hence they tell you to log in 30 minutes before. But in my case, almost everything was done, and then it started showing low connectivity, and hence when there were 9 minutes left, I had to restart the process. So be there. So it doesn't start before 30 minutes. It just starts before whatever is your exam time. It starts 30 minutes before that. So you cannot log into the system 1 hour before. So, but it takes around 20-25 minutes to do that system test, voice test, speaker, then the photo IDs, then some surrounding photographs which you click, and finally you are ready for the exams. So it takes around 20 minutes.
So around 20 minutes, you can say, like they have put the 30 minutes as a relevant, and it took
Right,
20 minutes. Okay,
right.
now let's come to the exam pass. So XYZ, nice name, XYZR has asked, were there any question related to calculations? Any formula based question?
For there was one for the costing CPI one, but it wasn't for calculation.
Yeah, this
It
is,
was, yeah.
you don't have to use the calculator, right?
No, no, no. I never used calculator. So it wasn't for calculation. It was just interpretation of whatever data they had given. And I just had one question. So one
Okay.
question there, two question match the column. They were really easy.
Drag,
And
when you say the match the column, you mean drag and drop.
drag and drop. Yes,
Okay, they were easy. Okay,
they
that's
were
good.
easy.
That's good to know. And of course, the old question of 2022. Now, were there any questions of ITTO, like directly asking input tools and techniques and
No, no,
outputs?
no, no. There weren't any. There
So
weren't
this is
any.
so this is very important. Now ITTOs are more of a terms of past.
Right,
Important thing, only asking output. So were there any questions specifically saying, and keep this in mind, we cannot share the exact questions
right,
of
right.
PM, like this is an output of this process, or asking something like that, what will be the output of this process?
No, no. There weren't such questions.
Yeah, okay. And all the questions were mostly based on situations.
Situation. So I was expecting some direct answer questions like, yes or no, or right or wrong, but there weren't such. They were all situational questions.
All situation question, like ending with the what should the project manager do now, next,
Yeah, yeah, right, right,
like our mock questions.
right,
Let me
right.
put it
Mock
this way,
question.
like our mock question, they were simply the same pattern as the mock questions were we
Yes,
utilizing.
yes, yes. Similar pattern.
Okay. Okay, similar pattern. That's good to know. Okay, now coming to more of the exam pattern. Which part was mostly dominated in the exam?
I think I believe it was more related to people management. So there was communication, there was stakeholder management, and surprisingly, there were many questions on procurement also for me. But
Hmm.
they weren't exactly pointing to which contract to use, so that wasn't asked. But yes, I felt there were a lot of questions on procurement also for my
Yeah.
test.
Okay. Okay. So the when you put it in this way, like I am putting a different course. I keep on doing PMP in 7 days. So I
Okay.
was thinking today, if you can master the people domain, which I called as agile communication, stakeholder, and team area. Can you clear PMP?
Uh,
I
just
am
people area.
like just people area. Okay. Like it's a long shot. I'm just putting Pareto. So can we clear PMP? Can we clear
Yeah, I think
PMP?
so. Yes, a lot of question related to people.
So
So
do you think in our programs, I should give more value, more question in our coaching call? Maybe today we will have coaching call. We should do more coaching calls on people domain.
yes, yes, I think so. Yes, my major questions were dominated by people domain only.
Okay.
So yeah,
And
it
then
will add up.
yeah, procurement is basically the last student was like 2 months ago, Asha, I guess, who said that they were procurement question. After that, you are saying so like for some people it can be quality, it
Right,
can
right.
be so it can be like from one of the processes they also need to touch that, so they put it that domain. Okay. Of course,
Right.
I'm not going to go only with the people domain. I am very risk averse when it comes to my. Okay, so drag and drop question, two drag and drop question, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Two drag and drops.
Okay, so length of the questions. Abdul Wahab Chata is from batch 8 and he's very near to clearing the exam. So he's asking the length of the questions were as lengthy as in the mock questions.
I would say actually they were lesser than that. So I had hardly any questions which were like extremely big. So major of them were like in limit. So they weren't that lengthy.
No, if you put like another Isam Khan also from batch 10. So he was there are also like same question. What was the length? 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, one average. So we had 180 questions. Everyone would be different. We agree that. So on average, what was the length of the questions?
I think two and a half, two and a half, two. So there
Two-
were a question which had four
Again,
lines, 5 lines.
again, your computer screen was small.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, the software works in this way. It changes yourself into the like if the screen is small, they basically do that, and sometimes it comes into 3 lines something. So 2.5 line means 2 line in the normal computer, or in like I'm using 27-inch screen, so it becomes 2 liners. Okay, but half line. Okay, so Vimod is asking what were there questions asking which document will be updated next.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There were such questions. Yes, which document will be updated
So,
next?
Vimod, for these questions, I highly recommend journeys videos and the flow of PMP, like how
Yeah.
things went. And there's also one video I start liking that video of mine, all 33 documents, because I say several time in the sessions, you must know all the 33 documents. So maybe journey videos will be enough, Aisha, for Ishwari for that or no?
Yeah, yeah. Journey videos are absolutely fine for that.
Absolutely fine. How was the exam on like agile, hybrid, productive? Which was more dominated?
Agile and hybrid. So predictive was very little. It was dominated by agile and hybrid.
Okay. After coming to my program, did you study any book?
No, no, sir. So
Only
I only the flows and the mock test which you were provided. That's it.
okay. They were enough, right?
Yeah, right. They were enough.
Okay, so thinking about more of the PMP exam, okay, Assam is saying 33 document is the best to follow the flow concept. Sure, Assam. Okay, so Ishwari, your final advice for PMP aspirants.
uh, Very difficult, but I'll put it in my way. So yeah, do follow the course which Amrit sir has suggested. Okay, do his mocks, follow his guidelines. Okay, whatever he tells you, please do it, and then take a courage to apply for the examination, because studies will never end. So you, that confidence never builds. You can keep on going on studying and studying till end of this year. So please take the courage, because as sir always says, the Parkinson law, it will keep on expanding. So please stop somewhere and apply for the exam. I think you should be done.
Yeah, I also remember like I forced her to give the exam. And she
Yes.
said, "Sir, we can." I said, no, no, no. Give the exam for Friday. I keep on asking for last 4 days. Have you booked the exam? Have you booked the when she started getting like 70 plus, so I know she can clear it. I know it. Like I said, have you booked the exam? So I'll book it today. I'll book in the night. Finally, she booked it, and she said I booked it on Sunday. I said okay. So that's a
And
good
one
thing.
thing, one thing I liked, what you said, that Kaizen built on it. Don't expect to be the perfect. Don't expect that you will get above. Start with it. And that is what I liked, and that is what encouraged me. That let me at least try. I'll give the exam.
Yeah, yeah. Perfectionism, I even made a video a few days back. Perfectionism never works when you are preparing for PMP exam. Like
Right.
you are thinking like I should get 100% question right. No, 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 no. If you are getting 70%, it's extremely good. Or did you get any hotspot question?
Hotspot, as in the direct question with yes no answer. Is it
No, no,
so?
no, no, no. Hotspot question is a graph question where you have to point out on the
Oh
graph.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I had one. I had one. It was an easy one. So otherwise, I wouldn't. Yeah, there were two, but there were interpretations. So one was selecting on the graph, and the other one was just analyze the graph and provide the answer.
And provide the answer. So, which is the best mock material Manish is asking? So you can answer maybe.
Yeah, the one which suggested Amritsar's mocks were really good, and they are available on Udemy. I think so.
Yeah, they are available on Udemy. But I have like 3 sets of mocks on Udemy. Whenever I with a new set, and I basically give that to my current students. Previous one was more difficult, so from the feedback of students, I keep on changing my mock set, and very soon, like maybe by the end of October or November, we will have our own simulator that will be just like a prep class or
Okay.
the real exam like simulator, and then we will be like I am getting a problem from Udemy on daily basis. There's a many bugs, so we will move away from that. So
Okay.
how
Okay.
many?
Good.
Adrian is asking how many agile questions.
Uh,
So can you basically? I know you cannot give how many agile questions to percentage wise.
I think of 180 questions around agile and hybrid were around like 140, 150. So it was fully packed with agile questions.
So it was more of a agile. It's a very, very heavy if you take it from me, like 130, 140 question, like they can make and break your exam.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
true, true.
they
That
can
is
make
true.
or break, they can make or break your exam. Okay. So okay. If guys you have another question, you can put in the chat box. Otherwise, we are ending this thing. Okay. So now we need three things from you. One of the most important thing, and I'm extremely happy with one of my student. Actually, he did that. Rafiullah put it in the batch group that he's gonna have a session and he can help other aspirant. So he took it this thing very far. Each one teach one, and you are saying the same thing. I want to teach others. So take one people from your batch. Your batch is young, like only you and Atur cleared. So the first, you see, what we say, the first responsibility lies on the people that are near to you.
Right,
So you're
right, right.
so you even your batch is praising you a lot, but you are able to keep it to that level. So each one teach one.
Sir, you will be surprised. I've got one session today at 9:30 for one of
And
our batch mate.
for the entire batch.
No, no, for one of the batch mate.
Okay, that is good. Take like that's what I say. Each one teach one. Like we try to work with every people, but each one can work in that way.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
true.
that is a very important thing. Okay, Manish is saying best material to buy for agile concept. So Manish, go to my playlist on YouTube free of cost. There's a entire agile playlist, 8 videos. Watch that. You don't have to buy anything. So
Yeah,
each
true.
one. That is what I call it. Okay. So Ishwari, the first thing is this. Second thing is I need you to make questions. You did a very thorough study. So make exam like question. Not
True.
exam questions. We cannot have that. That is not allowed.
Yeah,
And
true.
finally, you did a very awesome job. You worked very, very hard. Now is the time to celebrate with your family, with your like spouse, with your kids, with your
Yeah,
everyone.
true.
Now the COVID is getting over, so now is the time to celebrate with them. Thank you,
Right.
Ishwari. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much for choosing us, and it has been our honor to serve you in a very short period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, PMP number 192 Ishwari cleared PMP exam in less than 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye
you, sir.
bye.